Rodney Bloom cherished his family deeply, but after the loss of his wife, his children urged him to move closer to them in the city. However, Rodney couldn't bring himself to leave the small town nestled near a forest, where he resided with his loyal companion of 11 years, King, his beloved dog. Rodney found solace in the tranquility of the forest, where he and King took daily walks. The bustling noise of the city was unbearable for him, and even short visits left him longing for the peacefulness of his home. Moving away felt like betraying his late wife, who shared a special bond with King. King had been a source of comfort for Rodney's wife during her illness, never leaving her side and offering silent companionship as she rested. Rodney believed that King deserved to spend his remaining days in familiar surroundings, where he could continue enjoying the simple pleasures of life. While King may not have been as playful as before, he still relished lying on the grass, observing passersby, and exploring the forest for squirrels. Despite missing Rodney's wife dearly, King found solace in the routine and familiar environment that Rodney provided for him. Rodney and King became each other's pillars of support during a challenging period. Their daily walks followed a familiar route, often crossing paths with familiar faces who knew King by name. These encounters were heartwarming, with people inquiring about Rodney and King's well-being, showing a genuine sense of care and community. Through their shared experiences, Rodney and King had formed a deep friendship, transcending the boundaries of species. While King may not have understood every word Rodney spoke, their bond was evident in their daily routines and interactions. As King aged, Rodney noticed his beloved companion struggling with fatigue and the rugged terrain of their walks. Determined to continue their outings, Rodney came up with a clever solution. He purchased a children's toy wagon to transport King. This way, both could still enjoy the outdoors and fresh air together. Despite King's advancing age and declining health, his failing eyesight and sometimes unresponsiveness to Rodney's calls, Rodney refused to dwell on the thought of losing him. King was not just a pet. He was a connection to Rodney's past life with his wife. Losing King would mean losing a significant part of that life, plunging Rodney into a profound sense of loneliness. Yet Rodney understood that avoiding the inevitable wouldn't change the outcome. So he cherished each moment with King, grateful for the companionship and memories they shared, knowing that one day he would have to face life without his loyal friend by his side. One day, as Rodney was preparing for their usual stroll, he heard King whimpering in agony. The loyal dog lay on his side, unable to move. Rodney wasn't sure if it was due to his legs failing him or simply unbearable pain, but he knew King needed urgent care. Realizing he couldn't carry King to the vet, Rodney used the wagon from their walks to transport him. Hurried but gentle, he made his way to the town's veterinary clinic, where they quickly attended to King. It was discovered that King's stomach had twisted, causing excruciating pain. The vet explained that while they could attempt surgery to fix it, there was no guarantee it wouldn't happen again. Given King's age, the vet suggested letting him go peacefully. Rodney, unwilling to say goodbye, opted for the risky surgery. During the procedure, Rodney anxiously waited outside, hoping for the best. His heart soared when the vet emerged with positive news. King had survived. However, the vet cautioned that future occurrences might not have the same outcome. Upon King's return home, Rodney ensured he lived his remaining days to the fullest. He spent every moment with his beloved dog, taking him on wagon rides twice a day. Rodney cherished their time together, knowing it was borrowed. Yet, when the inevitable day arrived, he found himself unprepared to bid farewell to his faithful companion. King was once again in tremendous pain. This time, the vet explained that he was too weak for surgery. It was time to let his old friend go. Rodney stayed by King's side until he peacefully passed, then sadly pulled the empty wagon back home. His children, seeing his loneliness, once again urged him to move in with them, but Rodney was adamant about staying in his beloved town. He didn't want to be a burden to his children, understanding they had their own lives. They also suggested getting him a new puppy, but Rodney felt it was too soon to replace King and declined the offer. Despite putting on a brave face, Rodney felt more alone than ever after his children left. The house seemed vast and empty, emphasizing his wife's absence. Determined not to give up, Rodney forced himself out of bed each day for his usual walk, though it felt different without King by his side. While he appreciated the greetings from neighbors, he found solace in petting the dogs he encountered. Rodney battled loneliness and depression, believing that staying active would eventually help him cope. Nights were the toughest, as the empty house echoed his solitude. One day, during his routine walk, Rodney heard a faint whimpering. Investigating, he found a dog tied to a tree with a leash in its mouth. Rodney looked around, but there wasn't anyone in sight. The dog had been left with a bowl of water, but it was clear he had been abandoned. Quickly untying him, the dog jumped up, tail wagging, and licked Rodney's face, overjoyed to see a friendly face. Rodney couldn't help but laugh at the dog's happiness. To his shock, there was a letter addressed to him attached to the dog's collar. Reading it, Rodney felt tears welling up. The letter explained that the dog's name was Luca, about 3 years old, and that his owner loved him deeply. However, due to financial troubles, she could no longer care for him. Having noticed Rodney walking with King and the care he showed for his aging dog, she hoped that Rodney would be willing to take in Luca and give him the love and care he deserved. Rodney was more than happy to oblige. Despite Rodney's efforts to find Luca's owner and offer assistance, her identity remained a mystery. Nonetheless, Rodney and Luca quickly formed a strong bond and became inseparable companions. Rodney never knew who had left Luca for him, but he would always be grateful for the gift of their friendship.